Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm the OPJellicent, and I have week number 1 of season number 6 of the WPL, the Western Pokemon League, going up against Fire King 9 and his Minnesota Victinis. Now, if you don't remember, or you're a newer subscriber, back in season number 4, we did face the Minnesota Victinis, and we nearly won 4-0, but he actually ended up critting a couple mons, and our differential was reduced all the way down to +1 in that match. So we're hoping to build upon that this season, but quick few things to address before we start the match and get into the matchup. Be sure to check out my opponent down below in the description, but we also have the WPL Twitter and YouTube channel down there. We post a ton of updates on the Twitter, and we actually posted post-draft power rankings, in case you guys missed that, on the YouTube last Tuesday. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, be sure to do that. I would definitely recommend doing that. And also be sure to subscribe over here if you are new and want to follow our WPL season. But there's really not much else to say. Let's go ahead and get into our matchup. We brought a pretty standard Webs team with support Ferrothorn, pretty much just as a switch into the Scizor, and can also switch into the Thundurus if it's not Incinerate or HP Fire. We do have the Okaberry, so I know we can take one of those. Then we have Tail Glow Rain Dance Manaphy right here. We have the Waterium Z, so we can either do Z Rain Dance, or we can do Hydro Vortex, whichever one we need in the moment. Standard Mega Latios right here, just 4 attacks. Unfortunately, we do not outspeed the Thundurus, even under webs, because it will float above those. But hopefully it'll take some rocks damage, and that'll help us out. Our coverage is Psychic, HP Fire, Surf, and Sleep Talk. Just as a great switch into the Venusaur, since we want to obviously take the Sleep Powder, and then we can Sleep Talk some attacks off. And then we have the Berry Mamoswine, and the reason for this is if we catch the Scizor on the switch with an Earthquake, and it is offensive, we will be able to 2-hit KO that and live a Bullet Punch ourselves. The only way that would be kind of problematic is if he is Scarf and U-turns out or goes for an Iron Head and kills me through the Berry, which would be quite unfortunate. And then finally we have a Life Orb Emboar right here with the Sucker Punch to catch the Victini. It's also really great for breaking through the Venusaur. We do like 70% to that with Adamant Flare Blitz. And then that's also a good switch into the Scizor and the Umbreon, which we can OHKO with the superpower, assuming it is Spit F and not defensive. So let's go ahead and get into the match right here. Obviously, I lead it with my Galvantula, and he's going to go ahead and lead it with his Victini right here. Now, I really want to get at my webs, and I was originally going to Thunder Wave first and then get at my webs, but I was afraid he might be some kind of anti-lead Victini with the Quick Attack, so he would attack me on my Thunder Wave, and then he would Quick Attack me to knock me out, and I wouldn't get at my webs. So I figured I don't want to risk anything. I'm just going to go for the webs first, as he does go for the Blue Flare, and thankfully does not burn me, so which is great. And now I can throw off the Thunder Wave and slow that thing down into range of my Mamoswine, and unfortunately for him, he ends up getting paralyzed right there. You guys are going to see right here, he actually ends up making a really great play and goes for the Glaciate on my switch. I was really expecting either a Blue Flare or a Bolt Strike to try to catch my Manaphy, but he makes a really great prediction right there. We still do outspeed, and as I said, we do have the Surf for this, so we can go right for that. Umbreon was super obvious, but at least I get to see what type of Umbreon it is right now, as it does appear to be a specially defensive variant. So now I have two options. I can either go Emboar or Ferrothorn. I don't want my Emboar getting toxic, so I opt to go out into my Ferrothorn and try to get at my rocks early. As he pulls a double into his Thundurus, I know we can take the Incinerate because of our Okaberry, so we're going to chew that up and go right for the Stealth Rock right here. And he ends up getting the play right there. I was originally going to switch out into my Thick Fat Mamoswine, but I figured if we can knock this thing off, it'll really help out my Manaphy, because if it is Scarf, we won't outspeed it with the +1 speed from Z Rain Dance. So we really wanted to knock him off, but he ends up getting the play correct, which is totally fine. I'm still expecting him to be Scarf, but we don't take a risk right here. I just want him in range of rocks, so I decided to go for the Ice Shard. And thankfully I did that instead of Icicle Crashing, because he is clearly not Scarf and OHKOs me with the Grass Knot right there. And right now I have to bring in my Emboar and attempt to Sucker Punch this thing, since my Lottie is in range of the Dark Pulse, and we see that he's not Scarf right now. So we're going to force him out. Obviously he expects the Sucker Punch, and he's going to go out into his Victini right here. As I just make the safe play and go for Sucker Punch, I followed up with another one, since I really don't expect Substitute at all. And we're going to be able to knock that thing out. He brings out his Rhydon right here, and right here, he ends up making a pretty interesting play. I go right for the superpower and do a lot, but that does indicate to me he is a Violite. The funny thing is, I nearly teched a Grass Knot on my Emboar, and that would have blown this thing back, judging from how much my superpower did. So he's actually going to end up going right here for the Stealth Rock, which was interesting, because this thing breaks through the Venusaur and the Umbreon, so I would have Earthquaked if I were him, but I never really got his input on that. But I guess it was to kill my Galvantula, which I can use as a sack right now. And just sack that thing off. So we're down 5-3, and I'm really relying on Manaphy to win this match right now. Go right for the Surf and knock that thing out, as he's obviously going to bring in his Thundurus to threaten me out. We will obviously be slower because he's not affected by the Sticky Web, and the good thing right here is that I know this is his last switch in with the Thundurus, so once this thing is forced out, I can easily win with my Manaphy. But right here, he's going to go right for the Thunderbolt, and then follow it up with a Dark Pulse to just knock out my Lati. And we really need to bank on Tail Galarian as Manaphy right here. I go right in here into my Emboar, and just go right for the safe Sucker Punch, not risking anything, as he pulls the switch out into his Venusaur. And we can do, like I said, we can do a clean 65 to 70% with this Flare Blitz on this thing, and that's definitely in range of my Manaphy Psychic at this point. So pretty much it's just going to come down to Manaphy right here. I end up going for the Psychic right away, because I don't want to risk a Giga Drain crit or have him having some other coverage like potential Leaf Storm. So we knock that thing out with the Psychic right there. He ends up bringing out his Umbreon, and that's actually perfect because this is more of setup fodder than my than the Scizor would be, because Scizor could obviously hit me pretty hard with the U-turns, but he's going to go right here for the I-Tail Glow Up, obviously, as he goes for the Toxic, and this is perfect because I can go right here for the Rain Dance and get rid of that. Obviously, I don't go for the Z Rain Dance because there's no point in the speed right now, and we're going to get cured of our poison. And now I can fire off the big Hydro Vortex, which is obviously going to blow back even especially defensive Umbreon with the +3 boost in the rain. And he's forced out into Scizor here because the Thundurus dies 2 rocks. And the only way this thing could have lived is if it was Defog, and it can't, sorry, if it was Assault Vest, and if it is Assault Vest, it cannot Defog for the Thundurus, and it can't kill me with anything else otherwise. But as you guys are going to see right here, he's not Assault Vest in the first place, so Manaphy is going to knock that thing out with the Surf, and the Thundurus is going to die to the Stealth Rocks, and that's going to be a win for us for week number 1. So Manaphy really came through in the end. It might look like I was getting kind of outplayed the entire match, but really everything I did was to set up for Manaphy. Even stacking off my Mammoth just to get the Ice Shard damage onto the Thundurus was just to set up with Manaphy at the end. Getting up rocks just for the Thundurus, but I knew would help out a lot, and it ended up working out. So that's going to be a win for week number 1 for us. Once again, if you guys are new, be sure to subscribe, and go ahead and check out Fire King down below in the description. Next week we start our divisional matchup, so I believe we go up against Oscar and the Beecher Beartix, so that'll be an interesting match. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Later.